Hello, back again, and this is take two. So, the light went right in my eye. I nearly did a Christian Bale, but thank God that didn't happen. So, Bobby Lashley, where do I begin? Now, first of all, I was not against the idea of them bringing him in or bringing him back. I was always for the idea of perhaps a main event match with him and Brock Lesnar. Now, Braun Strowman. Obviously, he's already worked with Samoa Joe, but I think it could be pretty interesting now, given everything we've seen him do. I was very excited by the idea of a returning Bobby Lashley, and I think nearly everyone on here was. Is he going to feud with Roman Reigns and be the guy that dethrones him? Is he going to be coming after Brock Lesnar? You know, all these ideas are circling in our minds, and fans are eagerly anticipating something with Bobby Lashley. And I'm going to come out and say this, to be honest with you. Based pretty much after last night's, Monday Night Raw, with that really odd segment, and even that interview segment the week before, I kind of feel like they are misusing this man to such an extent it's actually hurting him. And guys, I have a confession to make, because this is what I'm going to base it on. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm going to say this on here. I can't actually believe I'm going to admit to this. Goodness me. I watched TNA. Oh my goodness, I might as well have said I've had dirty mags under my bed and confessed that in confessional. Gee, oh my god, that was hard. Oh goodness. But I watched TNA and I'd seen him in it, or Impact as it's now called, and I'd seen him in Impact as one of their top stars. And I was like, is this the same guy that I remember seeing in the WWE towards the end? The ECW champion? Because this is a completely different Bobby Lashley that I'm watching here. The man, they're not just going on about his wrestling background and his fighting background. He is carrying himself like an absolute monster killer. Like an absolute... Yeah, I would buy into it anyways because he's got the MMA background and the wrestling background, but he's now carrying himself in a way that adds to it, right? And it's not just the commentators and the marketing and the promotion telling you all of these things. No. He's actually carrying himself like a star, like an absolute killer, to the point where I'm like, I want to see this version of Bobby Lashley go in there with Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns and the WWE top end of talent. He's doing angles with Drew McIntyre, another guy that's come a long way. He's doing angles with Drew McIntyre. He's absolutely just beat the hell out of him, and he tells people if anyone comes in this cage, you're next too, basically. He just carries himself like with an aura that he didn't have before, and even in his eyes, because I remember we all used to mock that deer in the headlights look that he used to have, that I'm coming after all you bad guys. That wasn't there anymore. He really had this badass aura to him, which really made me think, now that's a guy you can make money with. Even on his promos, he was even better with them. And I see that, and I see what he could be, and then I'm watching what he is on Raw, and it's like, I don't know about this. See, when he returned, he came out, he beat up Elias, if I'm correct, and I have a friend that actually went to WrestleMania that year, and he said to me there were a lot of people that didn't know who that was, and he said it's interesting considering it's the Raw after Mania. He got a reaction, but there were a lot of people who said, who the F is this, basically. So, you're reintroducing him to fans that have seen him before and introducing him to new fans. You'd think you'd want to present him a little bit, better than they are. Instead, he's the wide-eyed, all singing. It's like the extremes of stage call it, the all bright eyes and teeth and all that. And I'm like, God, you might as well do jazz hands at this point. And I don't think that this is working. They had him in some tag matches with Braun Strowman, and I know they were teasing something there at one point, but I can't help but feel like the Bobby Lashley that we saw in Impact is the Bobby Lashley that we need right now. And then they had that interview segment, and he talked about the thing with the sisters, and if it was designed to make people feel sympathetic for him, it didn't really. But when they talked about his wrestling background and the other things, that kind of added to it. But the thing about the sister, it was a weird story, and it just had me believe that they're going to do something weird the next week, and they did. And I'm happy to see Sami Zayn get mic time, always. But I watched that segment and I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good for someone like... Look, The time is few. How old is Bobby? Is much older than he appears to be. I mean, he's a physical marvel when you look at him. But at the same time, it's like you don't have too many years, so you want to start him off hot and keep him hot, and then get your main events for SummerSlam and Survivor Series and Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and whatever else you have in mind with him right now. You want to keep this guy hot, and when you see segments like that, yeah, he's trouncing around the hills and beating everybody up, but the presentation is lacking, and it really kind of makes me go, man, that segment just wasn't the best for him, and it's really underscored this misdirection with Bobby Lashley. Now let's just compare it to someone else on the roster. Now let's just make my point right here. Imagine if they did some of these things with Samoa Joe. You would be less convinced that this man is a killer. Or smiling white teeth and you might as well call him Mickey Mouse. Imagine if they did these things with Samoa Joe. The point I'm making is it would hurt. So I don't think fans would be making the reactions they would be right now for Joe if they'd done some of these things with him. And I kind of feel like they need to kind of do the same thing and let him be that killer that we saw in Impact Wrestling. But those are just my thoughts here. Get them out now and let me know what you think. For the few people that see me, comment, like, share. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you think that this can be resolved. I think it can be. And that is me done for now. Anyways, guys, sorry I'm over talking. Jeez, it's really hot.